Alright, now let's see if this has fixed anything. Let's go check and see if this has actually fixed anything. Okay. Sorry guys, I recently upgraded to a PS5 and I'm still trying to figure out how this thing works. Alright guys, I didn't actually that really means I was actually muted for the last entire broadcast as well. It's alright. Preseason is for teething issues for drivers and the broadcast, so I do apologize for that one. Welcome back to the Grand Prestige League, everybody. Hopefully you guys had a nice Christmas, Happy New Year. I know I certainly have. We are currently racing here at the Grand Prestige League. It is time for pre-season qualifying. You get 60 minutes of qualifying per session. We didn't have anybody in the last session, unfortunately. And now we have 3 drivers in this session. We have 3 drivers in the unstreamed session yesterday. Alex had the best time of a 150.5. And now the best time to beat is a 150.2 by Adaptive Inc. from Foxhound Speed Group. So Foxhound Speed Group, although it does have a penalty, a half ticket penalty, that won't affect his current time. Tall Man now racing. He has joined Red Bull Adidas, the first graduate of LFO Racing, which I have heard some news about LFO potentially doing a livery reveal / color reveal for the season. They are running a 1-driver team at the moment with F16 or ASJ, driver who got 1 podium in the LMP Master Series, but he is a GPL Super Formula rookie. As well as I think everybody here is actually a rookie this season. So Tall Man is a rookie. He did do some races in the GPL LMP Master Series. He got close to a podium a few times in the Hellas Racing NASCAR Championship under the LFO banner. And we have May JP, the rookie from High Caliber Racing, which got a podium in the last GPL race in the LMP Master Series. So there we go. That is the detail. And I don't know a whole lot about Adaptive Inc., but we are seeing here that the Maltese driver is pretty dang rapid. So he's got a 150.2 to start things off. And now this is a very, very good time that we are seeing here. So still a good amount of time left. The session ends at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or pretty much right at the end of the hour. Everybody gets one final lap, and then that is the session done and dusted. So there we go. That's how things are situated today. Tall Man, though, is currently 3rd out of this bunch. He's got a 153.4. So that is currently the time that he has set right now. We'll see where that puts him in terms of the standings. So coming into today, we had only 3 drivers on the timetable. Now we are set to double that, as Alex currently is in P1 with a 150.555, which he is set to get usurped by Adaptive Inc. Oh, it's Viper. Alright, so it is a old face returning back to GPL then, so it's actually not a rookie. That would explain the pace. We're actually about to see a sub 149. So the last time I saw Viper compete was back in the Formula GT days, where he dominated for a good chunk of the season and then just disappeared without a trace. So Adaptive Inc. now setting the pace of the field, and everybody else is gonna have the work cut out for them. Right now the times for the other 2, we'll put May JP in at P5, and then Tall Man at P6. So if they want to improve, they need to get into the 151s to not be at the bottom of the timetable. And both drivers are both going to give it a reset and give it another go. So we'll watch Viper in action here, racing under the Foxhound Speed Group banner. That is a mega signing there from the Foxhound Speed Group for getting Viper on the docket. That is a very good drive. This season should be amazing. We have Nuka, we have Whiteout, we have King, Lusion, and Viper now. It's gonna be an absolute banger of a season. This season is not gonna be. This is gonna be one of the best GPL seasons we have had, I think, since the league's inception. But I mean, granted, I know we talk a lot about the veterans giving us a very good run, and yeah, actually, B23 in the chat brings up a very good point. Viper, Lusion, Nuko, and Whiteout are all racing on 3 separate teams. You got Foxhound, you got Toyota, you got EXO, and you got Acura. So that is going to be an absolute masterclass up front. But we do have a lot of very promising rookies as well here. I mean, Tallman has been pretty consistent. MayJP, he's got a podium to his name. So, and F16 also has a podium to his name. So we do have some rookies who are looking very, very promising, and they likely have long futures in the Grand Prestige League. Tallman, like I mentioned, the first graduate from LFO Racing, and now he has joined Red Bull Adidas after a quick private test. He did one quick private test with LFO and then got picked up by Red Bull Adidas, and now he's actually considered a scout for RBA. So Tallman is, I mean, it's awesome to see rookies get picked up like that, especially from a team whose whole purpose is to get rookie drivers ready for a team. So, and MayJP has also had a lot of hype surrounding him in recent times, probably being the most hyped rookie coming into the season. So it'll be interesting to see how MayJP goes through today and goes through the rest of this pre-qualifying session. So I'm really looking forward to it. There is an open seat at LFO. Yes, LFO has currently 1 driver at the moment, and it is F16. And some other news is that LFO might be getting a color change. So they might be running a new color for the beginning of the season, or for this season 7. So I have heard from inside sources I have at the team, aka me. But yeah, LFO is going to be an interesting team to watch this season. I think Foxhound might be probably the dark horse team of the season. I think with the addition of Viper, and Whiplash is pretty quick too. We cannot discount Whiplash by any stretch of the imagination. So Whiplash is very, very quick as well. So I think Whiplash has a really good opportunity. Foxhound Speaker has a really good opportunity. I think the constructors battle in GPL WEC is going to be absolutely on fire. Acura is going to be a interesting one too. We'll see where that team. I don't see that team getting lower than P3. I mean, Whiteout is a very quick driver. King is a very experienced driver. Foxhound, Acura. I think honestly, it's fair game. It's really fair game, honestly, between Foxhound, EXO, Toyota, and Acura. I think it's fair game, honestly, between those teams. Because I mean, they all have some very solid driver lineups. Foxhound with Whiplash and Viper, Acura with Whiteout and King, EXO with Yuki, who is rapidly becoming a very quick driver, and EXO or Illusion, and then you also got Toyota, which has Flaring Aces and Nuko. So I mean, Nuko is the reigning champion, EXO the reigning constructors champion. Yeah, I think Acura's got a really good shot at making a very strong comeback. I do not see that team coming lower than, actually, I'm going to say 4th. 4th is probably the lowest that team is going to go. Probable more like P3, I'm going to imagine. So it's going to be a very interesting season ahead of us. And then we got new teams too we got to consider as well. I mean, Racing Force is joining, LFO is bringing in a driver, potentially two. So, I mean, it's going to be a very, very amazing season in GPL in both classes. You got both classes too. SWT is going to be another amazing class. You have the, I mean, you got a lot of good teams there. If Kaiser Motorsports comes back, then they're going to be a team to contend with. Extra Repeat is always a team to contend with as well. So you have a lot of teams and drivers that can really contend. Tallman does jump up to a 152. MayJP not quite improving, so Tallman second fastest in the session so far. So we'll just kind of have to see how the rest of the session plays out. Viper right now does have the fastest lap time of the entire pre-qualifying with a 149. Alex had the best time of a 150.5, so almost 50 seconds, or sorry, almost half a second ahead. I mean, sometimes the gap may feel like it's 50 seconds, but in reality it's about 5/10 of a second, just about. So, pretty good stuff there from Viper. And MayJP has, I think has improved slightly, but they're still at the bottom of the timetable as of right now. So, but all these drivers do get a second session, whether they take it later on today or part of the next weekend. Each driver gets 2 sessions to fight, so we'll just have to see how it goes. And then at the end of the 2 weekends, so this is the last morning session that will be this is the last session of this weekend that will be streamed unless B23 actually decides to stream the second session. I will unfortunately be at work, but we have one more session later on today, and then a bit of a ore farming shot there for MayJP and Tallman there. So they're both going to try to get into the 151s. That is going to be their main goal with little under half remaining. I'll let everybody know. So a little under 30 minutes are left in the session. About 28 minutes left to go. And now here's the thing too about these guys is that Tallman and MayJP, they're going to try to give each other a show, but the slipstream strength is set to none. So there will be no slipstream available for these guys to really work with. So it was an update that was done just before the first session yesterday. So, 2 drivers are very, very close, so we'll see. Oh, and they're actually trying to compete it out here on the outlap, it seems, so we got some racing action before the season actually kicks off. In the words of a certain Dutchman, simply lovely. And honestly, I think these two are going to battle out throughout the season. These two are good friends. I think it was actually MayJP who brought Tallman into LFO, or actually into GPL, and then he was picked up from there, himself in F16. So they are actually fighting this one, so this is good to watch. Excellent battling here. Unfortunate for pre-qualifying, so that actually might have cost them both a little bit of time. We will see. Tallman trying to fire one up the inside, and he's going to try it. These guys are actually racing here, so we have an actual race here in a pre-qualifying. This is extraordinary stuff. Making their way through Les Ours. So that is going to go ahead and just see how things are going to go ahead and play out. To answer the question about LFO, the LFO will likely be in both categories if there is another driver, but there's only one driver. Oh, and MJP goes for a bit of a spin. Tall man into the pits as well. So a spin there for the rookie driver. And that is a rough one. But if there's drivers for both classes, then LFO will happily expand to both classes. As of right now, it is only wherever F16 qualifies. But if there's another driver that joins LFO that qualifies in the other class, then we'll be in both classes. It's as simple as that. He does have some information about the LFO seat. So, yeah, LFO has been going through some exciting times here lately. The newest team in GPL, one of the newest teams in sim racing in general. So there'll be a team to watch through this upcoming season. And MJP is also, I mean, if MJP wasn't on High Caliber, I think LFO would have been a potential place for him. But High Caliber Racing is a really solid team. And that's the thing. These rookies, the best thing that they need is a shot. So here in pre-qualifying, that's exactly what they're getting. They're getting a shot. They're getting a chance to show what they're worth and to show that, you know, hey, I'm going to be a driver to be taken seriously. My team is going to be taken seriously and everything of the sort. And also trying to place what division you'll be racing in. Now, as it sits right now, I think all these drivers, as it sits at this very moment, with only 6 drivers, all these drivers will be in WEC, but we still have, I think, 5 more sessions left to go after this one, so that's all going to change. 26 drivers have signed up for the season, which is an incredible number. There may even be a 3rd class from what I have heard. So that is a very interesting prospect, a very amazing prospect of that. I mean, there's a lot of teams that I think would do amazing in GPL. I mean, I can name a few teams off the top of my head that have been around in the Gran Turismo space. Some of these drivers may have actually ran into them from other series, primarily Enduro GT. There was some initial discussions on 9 Pegasus Panthera was potentially joining. Also, Hellas Racing was potentially going to join too, even potentially taking over the LFO entry. So there was a lot of, and there's a few of the teams. BNR was also a team that was reached out to, and they had interest. One of the drivers, Alvarks, actually competed in one round of the LMP Master Series. So there's a lot of teams that could potentially join, even before pre-qualifying is done. If not, then it'll be all for next season. And Tom Mann is back into the pits, currently with the 2nd best time of the session. Now MJP is going to go ahead and bring his way on through. Now here's what we're gonna do, and I promise I won't forget to unmute this time, although I think the PS5 muted me for my first stream on there in general. But MJP is gonna be on a lap, and we're gonna vibe with him for an onboard lap, as Chemisher has now joined the session, and we will be right back. Enjoy the sights and sounds. Hope you guys enjoyed that. That was the sights and sounds of MayJP running through, and that is a very interesting Hololive livery. I was gonna say, Chemiser usually gives me a name of a specific Hololive member that is on the sides of his car, but I actually did not get a guide this time, so there actually isn't a specific Hololive VTuber on the side of his car this time around, so it will be interesting to see which members he opts to use this season. I know during the LFP Master Series, he actually gave me a list of the names of the Hololive. I guess, I mean, I know they're VTubers, but does Hololive actually call them VTubers? I'll have to actually get Chemiser to let me know about that, but in the meantime, he is starting his first lap here of the pre-season qualifier, and we will see where his time sets. And actually, I think he was actually hosting the last session that we did, so at least I think. Yeah, so he did actually host the last session, and he'll be hosting the second Saturday session of next weekend on January 10th, which is, it's pretty funny because that is actually my mom's birthday, so that'll be a fun day in general. Get to wish my mom a happy birthday and also GPL, and have GPL on the same day is a pretty nice combination. Now we will see where Chemiser sits in the timing table. It'll be a 153.706. So there goes Chemiser, make his way through. He'll want to get a better time this time around for sure. It'll be interesting to see if he can keep up. I mean, Chemiser, he's a very consistent driver, very steady force in the WEC, but drivers who have set time so far, I mean, everybody with the exception of Alex from the last session did set a time of a 151 or better. So, and Alex set a 150, Viper set a 149, and now the P2 to P4 in this session would actually start at the back, or they'll be at the back of the timing table for the pre-season qualifying. So, and actually, come to think of it, we're gonna have, I think it's we're gonna have 6 different nationalities. Sorry, 5 different nationalities represented in the pre-qualifying time. So that's actually pretty neat. Yeah, 5. So, in the last session, we have a driver from Germany, America, and Greece. And this time we have a Maltese driver, 2 Brits, and an American. So, very, very, very amazing. And there he goes. Chemiser did set an improvement. He did improve up to a 153.5. Still trying to crack into the 152s is going to be his bet. And now we have the LFO driver of F16 who has joined the session. So he'll be here for the final 15 minutes. Just going to let everybody know that there's 15 minutes to go in the session. So here we go, 15 minutes left in the session. And we will see just how these drivers adapt. And we will see, Chemiser, is he going to be able to get another lap? And ASJ is running with the one of the colors that may be utilized for Super Formula. Apologies about that, everyone. But he is running the Afterburner Orange LFO car. This was actually because so the story behind this livery is ASJ/F16 realized that there's a good amount of blue cars on the grid, and I mean, or a lot of cars that feature blue. I mean, Fogtown Speed Group it's a purple, so it's a similar-ish color to a blue. High Caliber has a good amount of blue on their car. Red Bull Adidas has a good amount of blue, as you can see, and the Chemistry's car has slight tints of blue. And there's a good amount of teams in Acura's running a blue livery from what I know, so he came up with this color scheme. And actually there's actually one of 3 different colors. And the 3 colors were the original LFO pink, the Afterburner orange that is seen on ASJ's car, and then the last thing is the M80 shock yellow. Yeah, so actually this is one of the liveries that we actually might run, or that the LFO team may run during the season. Still a little bit up for debates, but we will just see how it goes. But yeah, it is a color that you don't see on the grid. I mean, it's in Formula 1 and it's in IRL Super Formula, but here in Grand Prestige League, I don't think I've actually seen any orange liveries. So that'll be a interesting one to say the least. It's always good, and I like B23. I am always going to be a fan of changing up colors and seeing multiple different colors on the grid. So yeah, I mean, it will be an interesting thing. Had an orange livery back in Season 3. Yeah, that was before my time, so that is not sure if that's putting whiteout into Unk status here. All jokes aside, yeah, it's good to see orange back on the grid. I don't think even in Formula GT I remember seeing an orange livery. There was red. There was Deadeye Racing that had the black and red livery. I remember that one. Because we had because I remember I brought Venomous Venom onto our team, and ASJ getting a bit of a spin there right towards the end of the lap. That was looking to be a pretty solid lap, but it has come to shambles. So Tall Man now making his way through the track, and we'll see. Currently has the second best time in the session, and we'll see if he can improve here. He's making his way through Sector 3, almost down to the final 10 minutes of the session. So, and it's nice that with the Spec 3 update, it actually shows the times on the top left corner, so that's always awesome to see. Pretty much right next to the name. Oh, we see some football, some American, or I'm tempted to call it real football, but now even the president of the US wants to change the name. But some NFL shenanigans in the chat. Hey, you know what? If we're talking about NFL, hey, I'm just glad that my Jaguars are actually having a good season for once. Potential first Super Bowl for the franchise if we don't sell it. But it's Jacksonville, so you don't know. But only one driver has yet to set a time. And hello, Original. I think that's actually Lucian, so good to see you, mate. Hopefully we'll see you in one of these sessions here soon. Curious to see what the EXO livery is going to look like for the season. That might have actually been revealed. And I might have been touching too much grass to actually check social medias, but LFO is now going to go ahead and come across the line, and he'll begin his next lap. So F16 is going to make his way through, and he's going to go ahead and go through the tight hairpin, and now he's going to make his way through the massive full speed run, going up through Erouge and Radion. And that is very nicely done. Full throttle, no lift, no care in the world. And now he's going down the Kemal Straight, probably one of the best spots to overtake on the track. So here we go. Now he's going to go ahead and make his way through the chicane, and he'll begin Sector 2. As Viper has made his way into the pits. Felt the yankiness as soon as I opened the app. That is, well, that's what happens when you have an American commentator. It does tend to happen sometimes. But welcome into the stream. Hopefully you're enjoying yourselves. Hopefully you guys had a nice Christmas and a good start to the new year so far. I know I certainly have. I can't complain. But we are here at GPL, and honestly, I was looking forward to preseason testing as soon as 2025 became 2026. And now we have ASJ making his way through the session. He's making his way through Sector 3. He's got full speed on his Afterburner Orange LFO. And he's going to go ahead and make his way through the bus stop chicane here. And then he's going to go ahead and turn on the afterburners. Is he going to set a time? What's his time going to be? A 1:42.4. So second best time of the session, just behind Adaptive Inc. And that is a very good time indeed there from the British rookie. We have at least 3 British rookies in GPL. So I'm not sure, take that as you will. There might be a British takeover in GPL in the coming seasons. The crazy thing is that there's a chance that one of these guys might be a world champion in future seasons. I mean, it's possible that they could become world champion in this season, although granted that is going to be a pretty big hill to climb, because I mean you got Viper setting really quick times, almost 2.5 seconds quicker than everybody else at the moment. And then you got, obviously we talked about it earlier on, you got Whiteout, Lucian, Nuko, and Viper all on different teams, all going to be vying for that Drivers' Championship glory. But it's, I mean, the World Drivers' Championship is a one driver affair, but the team's championship, it's all gonna just absolutely be a spectacular show. I mean, because here's the thing, I know we talked about those 4 drivers, but the teams themselves, I mean, it's a 2-person effort for most teams. And the driver on the other side of the garage is no slouch either. Yuki for EXO has been steadily improving, so I think he's got a few podiums and maybe even a win to his name potentially coming up. And then of course we have a lot of other drivers that are fantastic too. King, I know he was saying that he was likely going to try to fight to not be last on the field, but I think he's going to definitely bring in some very solid points throughout the season. Whiplash for Foxhound is also going to bring in a healthy amount of points. And then also you got Flying Ace on the side of Toyota, also going to bring in some very spectacular points. So lots of drivers going to bring in some really good points for their teams. And I mean, I think the Constructors' Championship is wide open, as I have mentioned it earlier on before. We'll check in on May JP now. Oh, and look at this, May JP actually did a quick wardrobe change. I see a lot of people beefing about NFL. I think I proposed this to somebody, mostly as like a gag. I think it was actually myself and B23 on an earlier broadcast where we actually talked about doing a community series where everybody just runs a GT3 car representing their favorite sports team, whether it's football, American football, baseball, basketball, you name it, and then everybody just represents their team and they can get team points. It was mostly just a gag, but I think it'd be kind of funny. The generational rivalry on track between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks would be one that would feed families, from what I'm seeing here. So, and hey, one of my friends, who I race with occasionally, mostly we play zombies together. He's also named Viper, a different Viper, and he's also a Seattle Seahawks fan. So B23 has another Seahawks fan in common, bringing the Miami Heat. I do live pretty close to Miami now, so that wouldn't be too off the handle. I mean, that's, although I don't keep up with basketball a whole lot, but I think they're still doing better than the Miami Dolphins. So I mean, we all know that the Jaguars is the best Florida team to ever exist. I used to be able to say that ironically, but now they're actually doing pretty good. Although, granted, our soccer teams are the Florida soccer teams of Miami, Inter, and Orlando SC are doing pretty good, I will say. And I know I'm going to start a war. However, it is specifically for the American League. The American League, and the American League refers to it as soccer. So, take that as you will, as MJP is taking a bit of the scenic route and doing some donuts here. I mean, I guess any way to really try to fire up those tires, but the Bucks do have some Super Bowls. I mean, they had Tom Brady for a while, so I mean, yeah, and even before that, Jacksonville is the only Florida team in the NFL that actually has never been to the Super Bowl yet. So, statistically and historically, they've been the worst of the three Florida teams. But I do not want to start a war about soccer versus football. But in America, the league that Miami Inter and Orlando SC plays in is the major soccer league. So that is the basis I am going on. I feel like we have spawned in another war, but it is down to the last minute of pre-qualifying here for Session 3. And right now it is, I know it says MJP is on top at the moment. He is currently third overall behind F16 and Adaptive Inc., so, aka Viper. So those are our times as of right now. Yeah, I kind of knew that was going to happen. And MJP, his qualifying is practically done. So it is almost at the end of the hour, and then we are going to go ahead and wrap up the session here. Everybody will get a chance to do their final laps. I feel like we should do like an actual I'm sorry about that. I think we should do like an actual podcast with myself, Lucian, and B23 about the soccer versus football debate. I think if anything, that'd just be a fun watch. So there we go. The session is done. So once the drivers complete their laps, they are good to enter the pits. Post-race interviews. That is something that we have talked about, post-race interviews at some point. Stuck in the solid now, can't get out. That is unfortunate. So Chemizure and Adaptive Inc. are going to be on their final laps. So as it sits right now, and yeah, I think, yeah, we'll just kind of have to see. So yeah, MAJP. So right now, as it sits, it is Adaptive Inc. ahead of F16, ahead of MAJP, ahead of Tallman, ahead of Chemizure. Unless Chemizure actually gets a fiery lap. He does improve by over half a second, but that is going to be all she wrote here. So there we go. That is going to be the end of the session. So just going to wait for... actually, we were waiting on Viper to wrap up. I think he got an extra lap, I think, so... Oh, no, he has entered the pits as well, so that is going to be it. So that's going to wrap things up here, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning on in. I hope to see you guys next week when we stream the final set of morning pre-qualifying sessions. Once again, use promo code GPL at w.gg to get a 10% discount, and that way you can also support the league. And on behalf of GPL, my name has been Patrick Coleman, aka Rekis. And I appreciate you guys dealing with the tech issues that I didn't even know existed. And so thank you guys so much for tuning on in. And we will see you guys next time. And before I end, it is 9 a.m. in the USA, at least in this time zone. So without any further ado, have a good one. Enjoy your day. And if you're going to be competing in the pre-qualifying session that is happening later on today around 1 p.m. EST or 7 p.m. CET. Best of luck, and we'll see you on the track. Have a good day.